Hi there folks, we're Travel with Johnny and Will and we're currently on board P&O Iona on our way round the Norwegian Fjords. We're going to chat to you today about our day 4 in which we visited the port of Olden. And my day started very early in that I woke at about 5:15. Definitely whenever you are cruising into the Nordfjord, it's really beautiful, and I wanted to get up just to sort of see a little bit of the sailing, and it was super cold. It was icy cold, but when you're just sitting out there in the balcony, it's so still, peaceful. There were quite a few people walking around the promenade deck below, and sort of just standing looking out. So I think more than me wanted to see the sail in. But yeah, that was like at 5:15 in the morning. I got up.
I was still in my bed, so yeah.
Will didn't care. He was like, I've seen this before. But it's definitely, if you haven't visited Norway, when you're cruising into the Nordfjord towards Olden, it's definitely worth getting up early to see.
So this morning we went to Coral, one of the main dining rooms, for breakfast, just to have a nice sit-down breakfast and take in the surrounding views of Olden. I just had my usual continental selection with Rice Krispies, fruit, and a couple of Danish things. Although I did have a lot of toast this morning, which I don't normally even touch in the morning.
Yeah.
What did you have, Johnny?
I had my usual bircher muesli, and then I had a bit of a cook selection with some poached eggs, and I love poached eggs. So I have poached eggs, some bacon and hash browns, and yeah, again some toast. The waiters just bring toast to the table, so I think that's probably why you ate it, because it was just there.
Yeah, that's it. That's totally it.
Um, so after breakfast, we wanted to get out early. So we had decided that we were going to go. Initially, we were supposed to do 2 excursions today. We were supposed to go to the LOEN SKYLIFT, and then we were going to go to see the Briksdal Glacier with friends who sadly couldn't come along on the cruise in the end. So we were able to cancel our Briksdal Glacier tour. So it meant then we could sort of hold back slightly, and then we headed out about 11 o'clock this morning. As we'd said before, we have visited Olden before, and we have visited the Briksdal Glacier. We'll pop a link here in the video and the description below, so that you can check out that video if you are thinking of going to see the Briksdal Glacier, to see what it's all about. As we did this excursion before in little troll cars, which was quite
right,
it was quite cool. So we were going to the LOEN Skylift, and we booked our tickets through Olden Adventures. My mum and aunt, they were then doing like a glacier sightseeing tour bus, and we also booked that through Olden Adventures. So we'll put a link to their website in the description below, and on screen we'll put the prices of our excursions as well.
So when you leave the ship, basically all the tour providers are sort of to the right hand side as you leave, and that's where we had went to the Olden Adventures stand to pick up the tickets for both your mum's excursions and our own.
Yeah. And then again, it's just literally further on down where they'll put you in the direction of where the different buses are for the different trips that they've organised. And we had, 5-10 minutes to wait? Maybe not
Yeah.
even? 5-10 minutes to wait before our bus arrived.
They said it was a blue bus, but it was basically just a bus that said LOEN Skylift.
Yeah.
And there was that many of them, so yeah, it was fine. But it's all very well organised. Don't get stressed about, oh, am I going to understand what to do? Because there's plenty of people there to help, and all you have to do is ask.
And the thing is, don't forget, these tour operators, they want to sell their tours. They are local operators. And I know that some people always worries about booking with somebody that's not on the cruise ship. And yes, if you're on a cruise ship excursion, the ship has to wait for you if you're late back. However, you're not going too far from the ship, on some of these tours. So the chances are, if you leave early enough in the morning, you're definitely going to make it back anyway. And again, I've said before in other videos, these local tour operators, they also offer guarantees to have you back before the ship leaves, because this is their bread and butter. This is how they make a living. So they're not going to have all these bad reviews and things like that people miss their ship. it doesn't. I would say it doesn't happen, or it
No,
happens
it
very
doesn't,
rarely.
no.
You know.
Plus, with the likes of that LOEN SKYLIFT, it is literally a 5 to 10 minute journey on the bus.
Yeah.
I would say you could actually walk it if you really tried. It's just there's no footpaths along the road.
Yeah.
You could. It's not far at all.
Yeah. It's really not. And when we got there though, like I said, it was bitter cold today, and there was a bit of a wee bit of rain as well. And whenever we got there, we saw the queues, and I thought, oh goodness, maybe we did the wrong thing hanging back. We should have went out like at the crack of dawn. As soon as we sort of tied up, we should have literally been jumping off the ship. But we waited in the queue for what, about an hour and 10 minutes?
And yeah, slightly over an hour.
Yeah. Well, we probably were, I was fine. Like I wasn't that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I probably was about one of two people that, that didn't have a hat.
Yeah.
Do you know, or yeah, because you had a hoodie.
Yeah.
You had a hoodie, but I didn't
Yeah.
have a
Well,
hoodie.
obviously didn't bring like a long coat and then wore a jumper but didn't wear a hoodie.
But it wasn't that it was cold. It was just that I felt out of place a wee bit because everybody else is so dressed up to the point where it was like, you're not that cold.
I know. Yeah. There was like people wearing these like, I don't know, things that Eskimos would
Ski
wear.
trousers
And then we were sort of like in the queue, and there was this like family behind us, with like sort of two teenagers, and all they did was complain about queuing, about the cold, about like, you know, but like saying to them, I know, P&O were terrible, they didn't make it a nice day for you, you know. But anyway, after we queued for a while, we got onto the LOEN SKYLIFT. It takes you up. It takes about, what, 6-7 minutes?
It says 5 minutes. To do the full turnaround, it takes about 6.5 minutes because I was timing it when they crossed each other all the time. So this isn't like a gondola lift like the one that's in Madeira, if anybody's been to Madeira, or like the ones they would typically use for the covered ski lifts. It's
one lift.
It's one lift. So if one's at the bottom, the other one's at the top, and as the one from the top comes down, the one from the bottom goes up. Although it's a very new lift, and the lifts are very big, so I think the capacity was
45 people.
45. So you could see as people were scanning their tickets, the number was coming down. So, it definitely moves the queue along a lot quicker than I thought. Because as you're standing in the queue, the lifts don't look that big. And when you get on it, you're like, whoa, this is massive.
Yeah.
So, just be prepared to wait and you will be rewarded.
Mm-hmm. The lift up literally is amazing, the views that you get. And like, we didn't have a very clear day. I guess we would definitely do it again, but you know, on a clearer day. But it didn't really matter. You know, even going up and you're sort of going through like, you know, little skiffs of cloud, and you know, you sort of were going.
Then
like,
there was icicles on the rocks.
Yeah, there was icicles on the rocks and everything, and like that just adds to it. Do you know what I mean? And
then at the top,
yeah,
it was a full-on winter wonderland, snow scene, sleigh people. I mean,
it was beautiful.
Not sleigh people.
Yeah,
people on sleighs.
Yeah, it was absolutely beautiful, and I actually was really happy we stood in the queue. I was really happy we came at this time of the year because, again, I just feel like you don't go to Norway, like you don't go to Spain looking to see snow. And so therefore, like I don't come to Norway thinking I'm going to, like, you know, see the sun splitting the trees in 30-degree heat. So it was just so magical, and like there was a lot of people up there, but it was still quite peaceful. Everybody was just sort of doing their own thing and having a walk around, and yeah, I nearly went my backside, and there, you know, there was parts that you know, of trodden snow that were quite slippy. But also up there's a little coffee shop. So again, there was people sort of sitting outside with coffees, hot chocolates, lots of lovely pastries, because we could smell the pastries.
Gift shop.
There was a gift shop as well.
There too.
But you could sit outside and like enjoy your coffee and your pastries and things like that. So yeah, it was really nice. After we had a little mooch around, we were peckish, so we decided that we would go for lunch.
So, in the main building where the lift comes up to, there is a large restaurant as well. You can also just stay for tea and coffee there, because he did ask us, but we said we wanted a lunch. And we were seated just maybe like one up from the bottom, and they have this beautiful big like forward-facing glass that would look down to the mountain. Although all we saw was the cloud. There was a few times when it cleared up, but it cleared for like maybe 15 seconds and then it was back again. But in those moments, you really could see how high up we were. And that would also make sense because we went from somewhere that was slightly wet to full-on snow.
And you could just see right down into that Nordfjord and where the ship had been docked and things like that too.
So it was just a really nice place to spend. It would be beautiful to spend like a sunny day there, but I think I liked spending a snowy day there as well.
Definitely something we would go back to.
Oh, yeah, we will. Yeah, although we time it a bit better because I think when we arrived, the queue was definitely the longest it had been. So yeah, I had a pepperoni pizza and it was actually really nice. I wasn't really expecting it to be as nice as it was.
I had a pork schnitzel and chips.
It looked massive.
It was massive, but it was really nice. I couldn't even eat all the chips because I just was enjoying the schnitzel so much. But it was really, really nice.
Yeah, it was good.
And what wasn't overly expensive. We'll have to work out what we spent on that meal and we'll put it on the screen now. But it didn't seem overly expensive at the time. Maybe it was. Maybe we'll look back and we'll think, oh my goodness, how much money did we actually spend? Okay. So then afterwards we just head back down in the lift. Your ticket that you have, you scan to come back down. And then there's a gift shop at the bottom as well. We didn't have too much longer to wait before the bus left.
No.
And actually it was a double-decker bus that came to pick us up and to take us back to the ship.
And the funny thing as well, the buses didn't wait until they were full. They just sort of left when they felt like it. It just sort of, there was no rhyme
I don't
or
think they
reason.
sort of wanted really people waiting about.
Yeah.
You know, whether it was that you were waiting about, you know, in the cold or you were waiting about like on the bus. They just sort of wanted to go.
Plus, if they had 5 buses on, it's better to just half fill them and keep them going because then the next bus might have nobody to pick up.
So whenever we got back to the ship, we were dropped off again right at the side of the ship. It is worth noting that across the street there is a little fuel station. If you're looking at any like supplies, again, you know, watch our previous Olden video. There's a co-op and things in Olden as well, that if you wanted like crisps and snacks and, you know, soft drinks and things for your cabin, go there. And across the road there is a little souvenir shop as well. So so it's like I say, everything is within a short walking distance of where the ship is docked.
So after being out, we were feeling a bit chilly actually, and we came back to the cabin, cranked up the heat, and just had a bit of chill time before the sail away from Olden.
Yeah, so we were, our balcony cabin is actually the wrong side for the Olden sail away, which we were annoyed at. So if you are selecting your own cabin and you're coming to Olden, you need to pick a balcony cabin on the starboard side of the ship.
Or the right-hand side as you're looking at ship plans.
Yeah. And because you will then be next to the port. In Olden, you will see the little people. If there's people in the bar,
The little people.
little people. They're not little people. But you'll see people that are in the little bar. You'll see people coming out of their houses and the fuel station across the street. If there's any bus drivers, and they kind of all come to send you off basically. You know, they'll be waving. They'll have flags. And it is just really nice. I have to say, it was very cold, so a lot of the people you'll see here, there was a lot of people out on deck watching the sail away, not so many people in Olden out in the cold, compared to the last time whenever we were here, but it really is nice. And to me, like, you're coming to a village with like a population of like 500 or 600 people, and there's like 6,000 of us on a ship. You know, we've literally flooded their village for the day. And to me, it's nice that they come to send you off. It's nearly like them showing their appreciation for you coming to their village and spending the day here and spending money here. So I think it's a really nice touch.
So for dinner tonight, we joined the virtual queue for Aqua, which is one of the main dining restaurants on board. And we've never had to wait that long until the table becomes available, which has really given us that freedom at night to just get our dinner, get it over with. Which
That's why they
really
call
like.
it freedom dining.
Yeah, but no, but I mean, do you know, we're really not waiting
No.
about to be getting at our own table for
And so far we haven't
four,
went. Yeah, and so far we haven't wanted to go to the buffet because
No, we haven't even been to the buffet. We went to the buffet once for breakfast,
and it was too
we
much.
haven't been back.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah. So you had well, it was a bit of a disaster for you.
Oh well, I had the broccoli soup, which I sort of confused with cauliflower soup. So when it came out
one's
green, I was like,
one's white.
Yeah, but it was nice. I did eat it. It was nice. And then I had the pan-fried chicken, thinking it would be like just a chicken breast with no bone, but it had bones on it, and then I didn't really want the bones.
And then you didn't want the garlic potatoes that it was served with.
Because they were really garlicky.
Yeah, this cruise has been a nightmare with Will. It's like taking along a spoiled child.
But the ice cream I had for dessert was nice.
See, the spoiled child. So we ended up, he left the chicken. I ended up taking his potatoes and swapping it with my chips because I had steak. For my main, but for my starter, I had this really nice chicken and smoked ham and apricot terrine, which was gorgeous. And then I had my steak and chips. I cooked well done, and then I had for dessert I had this like chocolate. I want to say it's called Marquez, and it was really small, but oh my goodness, it was like so chocolatey.
It just looked like it was chocolate.
It was so chocolatey. It was gorgeous, but yeah, I struggled to eat it all, but I did because I wasn't going to waste. Yeah, it was really nice.
So after dinner, we had a browse around the shops as we had set sail, so they were open, and we ended up in what I would call a logo shop or like the P&O branded cruise stuff. Because we hadn't bought our ship model and we needed to buy that because obviously if you don't buy your ship model, then have you even been on a ship? So we bought the ship model and we got a few other little gifts for the lady that's looking after the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, and we got a Christmas
And the
decoration.
girl in the shop was really nice because she was like, oh, we'll not put that in because there was a special offer
Yeah,
on.
I think it was if you bought 3 items, you got like a 4th free or something, or if you bought 2, you got the 3rd free, or something like that. But you got the cheapest item free. So of course, as we were paying for things, I then spotted a P&O pen that I wanted at the till, and then she was like, "Oh, I'll put that 3 separate because otherwise that would be the free item."
Yeah.
I was like, "No."
So we ended up getting the little ship model Christmas decoration for free, which is here.
It's actually really cute. Yeah, it's really cute. So yeah, we'll stick that on our tree this year. So this Christmas, this December, when we do our Christmas video, you have to look for the Iona on the Christmas trees. So tonight we didn't really feel like doing very much tonight. I have been up super early. Will, I think, got a bit of a chill. Will had a chill. So we decided we wanted to head back to the cabin sort of early this evening, but before we did that, we wanted to go to the front of the ship, and we wanted to look out because again we were cruising out of the Nordfjord, and it was really beautiful.
But it was really cold up there. It was so cold.
So on our way back to the cabin, we made a pit stop to one of the bars, and we got Will a double whiskey. And then I came back, boiled the kettle, and made him a hot whiskey. And
10 minutes later, I was a zombie.
that was the end of our day in Olden. Like I said, we called it an early night because I was up early, and Will wasn't feeling it tonight. So that was our day. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video.
If you have enjoyed watching this video and you like it, consider giving us a thumbs up down below. And don't forget to click subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.